Welcome back to another episode of Mask Off with Tiffany and Anita. Tiff is not going to be on today. Tiff had to take care of some things, but I do have a guest that's going to be joining us talking about, this whole marriage and relationship thing. All right. So we got Kara that's about to come in. And whoever's in, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Mask Off. Give me a second. Thank you all for coming in. All right.
Hi. Hello. Sis, can you see me?
You can hear me now?
I can hear you now. Mm-hmm.
Kara girl.
Hi.
Like told everybody this week's episode is going to be actually based upon marriages, relationships.
Okay.
What do you feel as if you join it together, or if God joined it together? And it's actually a flip side to this whole conversation, because sometimes we get in a relationship and in the beginning it's great, and then it fails. And sometimes you get in a relationship and the beginning is hard, is you go through your trials and tribulations, and then next, bang, it's great. You understand what I'm saying? So both of you, you're wondering, like, who put this together? Was it me or was it God? In both scenarios. Because
Right.
when it gets ugly, you be like, God couldn't have put this together because it's going so bad. And
Mm-hmm.
then when it's on the flip side, when it's good, oh, God brought this together, and then it end up being no good. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's like a catch-22 with this whole situation. So I'm happy
Right.
you decided to come on in, because you can give me the perception of, when it comes to a marriage, with your marriage, who do
Thank you.
you feel place it together? And you can say hello to everyone, Kara.
Hi, everyone. Hi. Um, Thank you for having me, sis.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm ready. Mask off. What do you want to?
Like I said, so we all know, you're married,
Mm-hmm.
Jason. With your marriage, how did it, let's not even get to the marriage first.
Okay.
Did it start off as being good, or did it start off as being bad? Like, what was the dynamic when it came to your relationship? Let's not even talk about the marriage yet.
I'm gonna say it was ups and downs. It wasn't good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
When it was good, it was great. When it was bad, it was terrible. If that makes sense. Um, Jason and I, this is our second time around.
Mm-hmm.
The first time around, we were teenagers. I was 16. I believe Jason was 19. Um, at 16, you think you're in love. You think you know what love is. And you meet a person and they're like doing everything that you feel at 16 is the greatest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, I'm just really breaking into to having sex.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, okay, this is what this is. Like, all right, and it's infatuation at first. It's not really love because you don't, at that age, not that you don't know what love is, but you don't have enough experience
To know what love is.
to know all the
Mm-hmm.
dynamics of love. So Jason and I, like I said, we started out young. I went through him with other girls, riding past my house. About 4 months into our relationship, Jason decided he didn't want to be in a relationship anymore. At 19, he wanted to be the man. He was in the streets, he was getting money. All the girls want him.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't want to be tied down. Fast forward, after that, we break up for a month. And then he decides he wants to get back together. At 16, this is the man of my dreams. I don't know any better. I don't care that he just broke up with me to mess with seven girls. I don't care.
Right,
What
right.
I want back, I'm going back. Yes. Yeah. So that happened. Then Jason wound up getting locked up. At this time, I'm 18. I'm living in New York. Jason is living in New Jersey. A freshman in college. He gets locked up. Every week, sis, on the train here. I have to be at school at 9:00. I'm getting out of school at 12:10 to make it to the train station by 12:22 to get down here to make it to his visit
Right.
by 6:00. I'm having a half an hour visit, no
Girl,
contact.
you
I
was
mean,
in love.
you remember back in the day, the county didn't have no contact visit. You sat with that glass and all
Yes.
that school. Visit at 6:00.
On
I'm
that
having a half
phone.
an hour visit just to get back on the train by 8:15 so I could be back home for school the next day. And this was every week. Every week. Then he wound up getting sent to a program in Sea Caucus, and I'm taking the buses. And it at that age, I shouldn't have been doing a bit. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, right. That's
We'll
what
get
we
to that
do.
about how God put that together. About 9 months into his bid, I met somebody else. I kept it real with Jason. Listen, I met somebody, it's just my friend. When you come home, it's gonna be this, it's gonna be that. When he came home, I was already too deep in, sis.
With someone else.
I was already too deep in. I couldn't make a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Like I couldn't make a choice. So me and Jason wound up going our separate ways. I got with my older kid's father. I had 2 kids by him. Jason had kids, and Jason didn't speak to me for like 4 years.
And that's weird because I was going to say, but you guys still remain friends.
It took a while. He didn't
Yeah,
speak to me
for the
for like
friendship
4
stuff.
years.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go where he was at and try to talk to him. I'd be in the car with my baby father, like, he really don't speak to me. And me and my baby father would be fighting about
Right.
it. Like, why do you care?
Like,
Why he
why you
doesn't speak
care?
to you? Like, why do you even care? And I'm like, oh. So when he finally did come around to speaking to me, how this happened. Like I said, I would always go out there and try to get him to talk to me. He would never talk to me. Like, I ain't beat. And one day, I went out there and I was like, look, I'm done with this silent treatment. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. So he's like, all right, we started talking. He was in a relationship at the time. And we just got real, real cool. Like, he's calling me about his girls. I'm calling him about my relationships and just
That's the
everything.
friendship. Mm-hmm.
That's when the friendship began. My baby father wound up getting locked up. And Jason was like calling me, like, what you doing? Let's go. So we wound up getting up in between that time one time. And then after that, I was like, I can't do this anymore. My friends used to be like, oh, you need to just go give him some. You know how your friends are like, girl, just go give him some.
Right.
I'm like, I can't, because if I do that, we go together. Like, that has to be
Right.
my
That's
boyfriend.
opening up a whole, yeah.
That's just how much love was there still. Like, he has to be my boyfriend if that happens. All through the relationship. Now, this is years, sis. Now we're 10, 11 years in after the first breakup. Oh, God, it's emotional. 10, 11 years after the breakup, Jason wound up being in a long-term relationship with a certain female, for reasons we won't say names, but with a certain female. And they were going through what they were going through when he was calling me and telling me about it. And I'm keeping it real with him because now we're friends. I'm keeping it real with him. Like, nah, it's not her, it's you. You're the problem.
Okay.
You're
I like
the
that.
problem.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Why is it that you can't give these females what they need from you?
Right, right.
And he just kept telling me like, and not those exact words, but like, because it's not you. Like,
Yeah.
it's not you.
Mm-hmm.
I wound up getting pregnant with my last son. We'll touch on that relationship in another.
Uh-huh.
And I was afraid to tell Jason. I was
Mm.
afraid to tell Jason. And one day I was riding past and he see me in the car and he stopped me. Now, all this time, Jason could be outside and I'll pull up like, come here. And he'll come to the car. I don't care who he's with. Come here. Like, and I'll give me a kiss. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and all his girls like, that's just your friend. I hate her. Like, none of them liked me, but that's okay. I don't care. I pull up in the car and he came to the car and he looked in the car. He was like, you pregnant? And I was like, yeah. He's like, who you pregnant by? And I would never, ever tell him. So when he found out, he actually wound up finding out from the girl that was actually his girlfriend at the time.
Right.
And he called me. He was like, yo, what's up with you? Like, what's going on? So we went through that whole thing also. After I had my son, I went through like a really, really big depression stage.
Right. I remember. Yeah.
And at that time, when I was going through that, I couldn't drive. I couldn't go outside. Like, it was bad. And Jason would come and get me. He would take me to the gym, take me to the mall. We're still not having any kind of...
And he was just there.
He was just there.
That friendship, yeah.
My
Actually, the
therapy
person that you
sessions,
needed.
my therapy sessions, he would sit outside for hours while I'm in therapy, drive me to every doctor's appointment. We're going to the gym. So during that time, we got close again. And my birthday came. He's like, what are you doing for your birthday? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, go get something to wear. We going out. That night, we went out. We came back and he's like, oh, well, where you going? I'm like, I'm going with you. He's like, you going with me? I'm like, yeah, I'm going with you. Because at that time, I already made up my mind. Since like, I've been avoiding this man for all of this time. And everyone around us sees it. Everybody, friends, family kept saying,
you all.
Like, why y'all not together? Like, y'all not just friends. And we're like, no, we are. So that night I decided in my mind, like, if I don't go home with him, he's going to go and pick somebody else. Somebody else is going to go home with him. And then I'm going to be in my house pissed off. Like, I'm going to be mad. And from there, that's when the relationship started. The bad I'm saying is, at that point, I was in a situationship, and the person that I was in that situationship with put us through a lot in the beginning. A lot, like almost to the point where Jason was kind of like, is it really worth it? Like,
yeah, right.
I can't do this. You know what I mean? But then it was like, it's you though. And this is the last time. Because prior to us deciding that we were going to actually be in a relationship, I told Jason, like, listen, I'm not, if this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do. I'm not dealing with all the different females. I'm not, because Jason was, since he was out there.
He was single. You know what I mean? He was doing what single men do.
Absolutely. It's
Can't blame him. He was doing what single men do.
I'm gonna go back to that. It's funny that you said that. He was dealing with a female and they went on vacation. He lied to me about the vacation, first of all. Told me that he was going to visit his aunt. He wound up in the Poconos with the girl. She posted the pictures.
And you saw it.
And somebody showed me the pictures. And I called him like, tell her to take the pictures down now. Everybody that's around me, like, you ain't gotta take it down because you said take it down. Tell her to remove those pictures now.
Wow.
2 minutes later, pictures down. So that's the type of effect that I had over him.
And I think vice versa too. But go ahead, keep going. Again, because we get into, who do you think put this together? But I'm happy you telling the story because I got that question flowing up there. Go ahead.
So we're back together now. I'm not dealing with the females. I'm not dealing with any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We're back together probably for about 2 months. And Jason is in his head again. Now, I'm not single anymore. She's here 3 or 4 times a day because we weren't living together at that time.
Right.
She's here 3 times a week. She wants me there three times a week. Like, it became overwhelming for him because with me, he couldn't do what he was doing with those other females. You could call them when you just wanted to lay with them.
Right.
With me, you couldn't do that. You had to be 100 or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And it scared him. So he said, I think we should take a break. I'm not ready for this. I'm not. Okay. I gave him a couple of days, sis. It was, I don't even remember what day of the week it was. I went to his house and I said, listen, you sure this is what you want? Yeah, sure, this is what I want. I said, okay, have a nice life. At that point, I'm done. I done gave you the time that you needed.
Well, wait a minute. You
to
asked
get your
him, wait a
mind
minute.
together.
You said this is what you want. So he was saying like we should just break apart. Like that's it. Let's be friends and okay.
Yeah. We should be apart.
Wow.
I said, okay, have a nice life. I left, got in my car. 5 minutes later, sis, they called me and told me Jason got arrested. He had been on the run at this point for about a year and a half. They called me and told me Jason got arrested. I believe that was God's way of telling Jason, listen, stupid, I'm going to help you once again because you're about to lose her for the second time. So I'm going to help you once again. I'm going to make you go ahead and sit down so y'all can get this together.
And think about it.
Right.
God put it together.
So that Jason got arrested. His baby mothers, let me say, because we're mask off.
Right. That's right.
Group chat with me in the group chat. Telling me all this stuff about Jason, how he slept with one of the baby mothers and he was talking to all these other girls. And at first I didn't even look at the group chat, but they kept calling me. Him, his friend, his daughter, they're calling me like, did you get a message on Facebook? And I'm like, what are you talking about? So now I'm curious. Now I'm going to go
look. Let me look. Right. Let me look now.
Now let me look. So all of this happens. And during the time that we had first got back together, he wound up sleeping with one of the baby mothers. And I didn't know if I could take that, sis. But at that point, I felt like it was karma because of the situation. I told you I was in a situationship with my last son's father. I felt like it was karma. Like, all right, God's saying, I'm gonna go ahead and get this out the way. You're gonna deal with this because you gotta deal with your karma. Karma ain't gonna miss nobody.
You better believe
miss not one person.
That's right.
So I'm gonna deal with this karma. I'm gonna sit him down so y'all could get it together because this is it. The whole time Jason is locked up, when we come home, I'm getting married. We can get married. And I'm sure some of us have been there with the jail talk, and they're gonna tell us anything.
Anything.
We gonna get cops and ponies and all this. I didn't really believe him. I'm like, all right, whatever. So it got closer to him coming home, and he's like, yo, what you doing? Are you planning the wedding? Like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, I'll plan it when you come home. And he's like, no, I want you to start planning now. Because when I come home, we're doing it as soon as I come home.
Wow.
I started planning the wedding with my mother, everything. I'm still like,
he's lying.
He lying. Like, but okay, I'm gonna go ahead and entertain him. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Jason came home on a Wednesday. We were married on Friday.
Wow. Okay. Now, okay. Y'all went through all this.
Mm-hmm.
Came home, got married. Within the marriage, I'm gonna say the first because sometime within the first 7 days, you feel some things. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
With the next 7 days after the marriage, what were either one of you going through? Like, what was the emotions? Like, what was the connection? Like, what was it? You understand? Was it any feelings of doubt there, or questions? Was it anything there? Because when we rush into things sometimes, because that was a rush.
That was a rush.
Do you question, like, okay, God, was this the right decision? And I'm asking that question because I'm leading to another question.
It wasn't my first 7 days. I think for me, my first 7 days was still that honeymoon.
Yeah.
He was just coming home. I haven't
Yeah.
physically touched him. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
for me, still that honeymoon phase.
Okay.
I would say that started for me about a month in.
Mm.
About a month in. Like, am I sure that this is what I wanted to do? Am I sure that this is what he wanted? Like, it was a lot. We had to blend our families so fast. It was a lot. It was a lot. So to me, it was like 30 days in. I started.
Okay. 30 days in.
But to be honest, I still think like that sometimes. And every married couple that I've talked to, so I'm not gonna say
Okay, right.
all people get like, well, not me, but all the married couples that I've have talked to have said the same thing. There's always gonna be a time in that marriage where you're gonna be like, did I do the right thing? Days when I struggle to like him is when I really question myself, because that's a whole nother demon in itself.
Right.
Struggling to like him.
So all that y'all went through, I have to ask you this question again. Who do you feel as if brought y'all together? Because I know in my head who I'm thinking, brought y'all together. Who do you feel? Because
It was nobody but God, sis.
All the time. He allowed y'all to go through those things. Like I said, everything don't sort of peaches and cream.
Right.
But when that man is made for you, or that woman is made for you, he's gonna put you through hella tests. You understand what I'm saying? Can you withstand this?
Can you?
I feel as if it was me, my personal thing. Who got this personal think chat on? Got Kara girl.
Timing. To me, that's what made me realize that God wanted this to be a thing, because the timing was always right on point. Like, okay, this what y'all going through at this point. Oh, all right, I need to sit y'all down. I need to sit y'all down and bring y'all back. And it seems like every time that we were on that edge, he pushed us back. We ain't going there. Come on back. Come on back.
Let me ask you another question. Why did you feel as if that was your karma? Because I think we spoke about this a little while. It may have been earlier, or months back, because we always have discussions. I don't think. Why do you feel as it was your karma? Because you was dealing with someone in a relationship.
Yes.
And
yes. I honestly
believe. It was like I was wrong for this, and this is what's coming back to me.
I was wrong for this, and even during that time that I was in that situation, not knowing I was ever going to marry Jason, whoever I marry.
Right.
I used to always say to myself, I think I told you that before too. Yeah. Like, I ain't gonna shit out of my husband. I know, like, that's gonna happen. And
but we also said that, like, see, and people get that so misconstrued when it comes to husband and boyfriend. You understand? It's just your boyfriend. It's not your husband. You understand? Like, and I gotta put a situation with me in there real fast. I have dealt longevity for a long time with someone's boyfriend. I used to always say, that's both our boyfriend. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's both our men. You understand? Because he treated me the same way he treated her. Now, once that ring got on that finger with that other woman, it was all bets off with us. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's where my karma will come from. My karma will come from mess with somebody's husband. That's a no-no. But I don't think I'm gonna get karma for mess with somebody's boyfriend, because he's just your boyfriend. You wanna? I mean, at that time, I wouldn't dare do it. Now I don't want another person's, man. I don't want, I ain't sharing nobody. I ain't with that goopy stuff. But at that time, around the time that you got pregnant, whatever, I had that same mentality. Like, I'm not getting no karma. That's not your husband. So why do you feel as if you're gonna get karma if it's not the person's husband, only the boyfriend?
Because that person still technically did not belong to you. He technically did not belong to you. If you went into that situation, not you personally, I'm just saying.
No. Yeah, come on.
Going into that situation, knowing that person has somebody else, a significant other, then you know that that person does not fully belong to you. Let's be clear.
That's right.
Does
Okay.
not 100% belong to you, because in my situation, another situation, that's 50% yours and 50% mine.
Mm-hmm.
And if we choose to take 50% of this man, then that's up to us.
Mm-hmm.
But is my car? Do I feel like karma? Yes, I do, because originally he was 100% yours. I moved
Wow.
in into that wasn't my place or my right.
That's right.
But at that time, you don't think like that, because humans react off emotions.
We act off emotions, and we want what we want. You feel
We
me? We
want what
want what
we
we
want.
want, regardless of what's going on. I just want what I want.
I
Yeah,
want what
and
I
that's
want.
that's like a childish behavior as well.
It's
You
very
know, little
childish.
kids. I want what I want.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's not to hurt you. It ain't about you.
It ain't about you.
It
Yeah, it's
ain't
not
about
about you.
you. It has everything to do with me
Hey, that's
and
right.
not about you. You
Mm-hmm.
could be the best woman in the world. And I might even at some point in my situationship reflect on that. Like, that's a
Mm-hmm.
good woman he doing that to. That's
Yeah.
oh well. You know, if she
Mm-hmm.
decides to accept 50% of him, then that's her fault.
Go ahead.
You know,
I'm listening to you, Karen.
then that's
Somebody,
her fault.
somebody
Because
came in and maybe get thrown off. Go ahead.
the 50% that I'm getting feels good to me.
Mm-hmm.
So if she's okay with that 50%, then that's her. However, even me dealing with someone else's boyfriend, and my situation with that person was extreme. We'll get to that in another. I always said to myself, I would never deal with somebody's husband.
Right.
If you're married, I don't want no part to you, because I already have to deal with my karma from dealing with you being
Yeah.
in a
Right.
relationship with somebody.
Relationship.
Now you're married. God done bless that union. God bless that union. Whether he put it together, as you said, or you put it yourself together, y'all wouldn't be for the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
right? I don't want that double karma. I got to deal with the karma already coming from this situation. Now you want me to deal with the karma from the Lord too? I don't want that type of karma. I don't want that, because to
Right.
me that's like come on now.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel being in my marriage and another woman messing with my husband, I can't even tell you how I would react. And I'm saying that because I could sit and tell you I would do this, I would do that, I would do this, I would do that. I'm gonna leave him. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do. I honestly don't know that, sis, and that's mask off. If I caught my husband cheating now, I'd be devastated. But in reality, would I leave him? Hmm. Hmm.
Let me ask you this, because you talking about the cheating and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know me, I always have to jump back to the subject. If God put it together, do you really think, or because the mind is a powerful thing. You do know that, right?
Yep.
We ain't gonna think, oh well, if he cheated, no. I would never think that. But this is what I'm saying. If God joins you two together, the thought of even of stepping out, period, shouldn't even be there, because this is what God put together. We done went through what we went through. You understand what I'm saying? Now we are where we supposed to be, right or
But
wrong.
but at the same time, sis, we have to be realistic. The flesh is weak.
The
The
flesh
mind
is
is
weak.
strong. The
Okay,
flesh is
that's
weak.
right. 100%. You're
Even
right.
the Bible speaks about temptation. Come on now.
Mm-hmm. See, okay. Personally, and like we was just saying a little while ago, when I didn't mess with somebody's husband, because again, I always put myself in a position, whereas I just couldn't do it. You understand what I'm saying? Your dude that you mess with, that's something different. But you know what I'm saying? Now, thinking today the way I thought, a couple years ago, wouldn't even mess with nobody's long-term relationship
Yep.
today. You understand what I'm saying? Now, years ago, I was young. I'm not going to say I was even young. It was all selfish. I was very selfish in regards to,
Mhm.
I want that man. You know what I mean? He want me. You know what I'm saying? I would never go after nobody else's boyfriend or whatever. But now, when it comes to a marriage, I have been there. You understand what I'm saying? Because I already told myself a long time ago, never gonna mess with nobody else's husband. And then when it happened to me, for me to even feel that, I think I was prepared. Like, God, this is why, you know what I'm saying? I said I would never do this to a woman, because the magnitude of what you feel from it, I thought I was gonna fucking die.
But
You
you
know,
was gonna die. Yeah.
listen, I thought I was gonna die.
That feeling in the bottom of your
because it comes from the stomach up.
up.
You
From
understand?
All right, you feel it.
And then you start taking things personal. What did I do? Why did this happen? You understand? So with me going through these emotions, I'm like, yo, God, this is why I always had in my head I would never do this to another woman. Husband, I don't give you mess with, you know what I'm saying? My boyfriend, that's my husband now. You know what I mean?
My husband. Different.
This is a whole totally different ball game. So yeah, so for another woman to even think about, you know, and I don't condone it. Like when I hear females talking about it, it's like, yo, that's her husband, ain't her boyfriend. That's her husband now. You know what I mean?
Daddy, that's her. That's that woman's husband.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, and you know, I don't mean to cut you up, but you know, even with mine, well, I have to, because you give me the flip side of it. With mine, I feel as if, you know, mine was put together by me and not by God.
Why? Why do you feel like that?
Okay, I say that because I didn't take the time to put God into it. I only saw what I wanted, you know what I'm saying, wanted to see. Because had I put God into it, he was showing me the things that weren't supposed to be.
Right.
And it was me that was chosen to ignore them or, you know, pacify them. You understand what I'm saying? So mine's, God had no play in it. And that's why it didn't last. I mean, you could tell when God had his hands in something. Because when God have his hands in something, what happens with it? It goes well. You may have, you know, a couple bumps and bruises or whatever, but it goes good. If God ain't got his hands on it, it's straight fucking disaster. So, excuse me, because I said I was gonna stop cursing. That's the second curse I did. You know,
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's a disaster, you know. So you have to sit there. This is what we fail to do. We fail to sit back and start paying attention to things. Action, you know, movement, the way you talk. I mean, even when it comes to, you know, interaction with your family. Family, friends, children, you know what I mean? If you don't sit there and monitor those things, and God will let you know if it's right for you. If you don't monitor those things, and those things don't line up the way they're supposed to, that's you trying to put that together.
With that being said, let me ask you a question, sis. You know how they said that you have to be specific in what you ask God for?
All the time.
So, do you feel that some women, when they pray, because every woman wants to be married.
Right.
That if you say you never thought about it, you're lying.
I'm lying, right. We all want
everyone
that.
wants to be married.
That's right.
So, do you believe that some women are not specific in their prayers? Like, are we just saying, send me a husband? Send me a husband.
That was me.
I'm gonna send you a husband, but I'm gonna send you a cheater, a liar, a thief. I'm gonna send you that because you weren't specific.
You weren't specific. Yeah, you weren't specific. Exactly.
When you wanted. When I prayed for a husband, I prayed, God, send me a good husband. Send me a husband that will protect and provide for me and my children. I have children that will not be with my husband. Send me a husband that will protect them. Send me a husband that will make his family the forefront of his life and make everything else secondary. I live in Patterson. 98% of these men are in the streets. Send me a man that is tired of the streets. Send me a man that is ready to change. Be specific. And that's what a lot of women have to realize. Like, don't just keep saying, God, send me a husband. Send me a husband. Send me a all right, he gonna send you a husband. He gonna send you that. He might even send you somebody else's husband. You weren't specific.
Okay. Yeah.
He gonna send you Angela's husband. And when Angela's husband come, you gonna and things are bad, you're gonna be like, God, but why?
The person that he's with Angela is not gonna be the same person he's with you.
And even if he is the same person, when you spending them nights in the bed crying, because we all been there in that shower crying.
Yes.
In your car, you're arriving and you asking God, why?
Why? That's
this?
right.
What is happening? What have I done?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then you sit back and be like, you know what? Listen for that word for him to tell you you weren't
You want
specific.
specific. I always say that now. I said, I got what I asked for. I
You
got,
asked
I
husband.
got what I asked for. I
You
didn't
asked
get
that
specific.
man.
I just asked for a. You
Man.
feel me? My thing was in my head was like, all right, God, I done did what I had to do. Now it's time for me to settle down. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and I was specific about this. I need a man that's like-minded like me. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Because I just don't want a husband. I want one that's like-minded as myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't get into the specifics of it. I
Of
didn't
what
say,
kind?
oh,
Is your
there
mind
you
frame?
go. There you go. You understand?
You done changed. So what mind frame
What
is it?
mind frame? There you go. See, trial and error. Like I had to go through that to realize it's like, okay, God, you gave me something, but I didn't get specific with you. Now let me get specific. And with me being specific now, I'm picky. You understand what I'm saying? Because now I know exactly what I want. I don't focus on what I don't want. And that's our problem too. I don't want no man that cheat. No. I don't care about those don'ts. My focus now is just on what I want.
What I want, what I need.
What I need. You understand what I'm saying? Them don'ts is that's why I said all that cheating. I don't remember. I was like, don't say that. That we don't even put that stuff in the universe. Don't
Mm.
is negative to me. That's negativity. Don't is negativity.
But in a marriage, sis, you have to. This is what I was telling you earlier, where everybody wants that dress, everybody wants that ceremony,
Yeah.
everybody wants that honeymoon. But
Mm.
when that's over, like
What's
you
that?
said, if when that's over, if God is not in that situation, you're not going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to make it because there are days when, even in my marriage, love my husband to death. He is a good man. But even in those days, there are times when I struggle to like that man. And when I say that is because women are moody.
Right.
Women are very moody. So something that he does today that is, oh, thank you. Tomorrow is clingy. You know what I mean? Like now I need space, but not space
Uh-huh.
like you go and live somewhere else space. No, like space you go for a ride and get coffee and come back. And my husband is like that. Oh, you need space? Go get coffee and bring your ass back home. Don't be gone too long either.
Mm-hmm.
We want good, but what about the bad?
But
What?
not even that as well. When it comes to like a marriage, right? Marriage relationships. A lot of people will stay in a situation, marriage and relationship, for the outside. You understand what I'm saying? For the show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm married. That's my husband. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
got look at
I
my.
got the ring. You know what I mean? Because again, I always say social media is fake media to me. You understand what I'm saying? Just like news, we call it TV television. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's fake. A lot of people stay in these situations for the performance.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? Oh, that's my husband. Now I've known some that been together for years.
And ain't married and still together.
They're still together. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? So that's why we were talking about this. Well, if God put us together, how can it has to be a marriage? You don't have to be married
Nope.
for God to put it together.
You know
Am I
what my
correct?
uncle asked me when I told him I was getting married?
Right.
He said, "Why you getting married?"
Mm,
Because I love him. He said, "That's the dumbest shit I ever heard."
I like your uncle.
I was like, "What? What?" Like, I'm like, "What?" He's like, "That's the dumbest shit I ever heard. For you to
Hmm.
say, sorry, my language, you getting married because you love him. So you don't love him now?
Wow.
Marriage is gonna make you love him. That's what you're telling me by saying that's why you're getting married. That marriage is gonna make you love him.
Mm,
No, you get married because if something happens to that man today or tomorrow, you don't have no say so. You could have spent your whole entire life with that man. So marriage is just a piece of paper until it ain't.
mm,
It's just a piece of paper until it ain't.
right.
The people that you are saying that are in these long-term relationships, if we're in this long-term relationship and we're together 20, 25 years, if something happens to you and Nita is your daughter, and something happens to you. I done spent 25 years with Stan. If
Right.
Nick say she don't want me at that funeral, or she don't want me to have no say so, guess what? I can't say nothing. I'm nothing in the eyes of the law.
But again, okay, now I hear what you're saying. Because they were together for 25 years, right? Are you
Mhm.
saying God didn't put them together? You understand what I'm
I
saying?
believe God brought them together, but
Okay.
even when God gives you something, sis,
You should honor it.
you still have to have your hand in it a little bit. You
Uh-huh.
ain't stirring, but your hand is on it.
Uh-huh.
Does that make sense? Like I ain't, but I'm here with it. And now I'm gonna let God.
Okay, so when God put his hands on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm trying to get to because maybe I jumped off of it a little bit. Once they together for all those years, God touched it. So you see, if it's law, like, do you feel as if it's mandatory that they have to get married? I don't, and I'm gonna be with me. I don't want to be married again. I don't ever want to be married again, but I know I'm gonna fall in love again, and I'm gonna be with my mate, one mate, until the day that I die. But I'm not looking for that marriage again.
Why?
Marriage is
What
such
was
a
it? Is it
nasty
that
taste in
you're
my
not
mouth.
looking, is it that you're not looking for that marriage, or you're not looking for that type of relationship? Because it we're getting out of the habit that marriage is the relationship. No, the relationship is the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage is what gives me that power to make decisions over each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that marriage is. That's what that piece of paper is. When women get into these big weddings and extravagant, all of this, that, and the third, my first question to them is, okay, so do you want the man or do you want the wedding? Which one?
Right.
You want
Mm-hmm.
the marriage or you want the wedding? Because I don't have to pay $50,000. I don't have to pay $50,000 to get this piece of paper saying that if something happens to this man, I'm protected. I'm good. I'm taken care of. That man's
I
pension
think a
coming.
marriage is just every woman's dream. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, extravagant
The
or
wedding.
whatever.
The
I mean, I'm
wedding.
sorry, the wedding. There you go. My apologies. The wedding.
The wedding is every
The
woman's
wedding
dream.
is every woman's dream. Yeah.
That wowing over you is every
Yeah.
woman's dream. Because
Mm-hmm.
when you get married, whether you go to the Justice of the Peace, whether you get married in the backyard, whether you have an extravagant wedding, social media gonna give you 1,000 congratulations,
Mm-hmm.
and the family gonna be,
Right.
and that's what you want. You want to feel like, oh, it's about me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But is that where it stops? Because, like I said, once that wedding is over, once those congratulations are over,
Then the marriage begins.
and once that white dress is taken off,
Mm-hmm.
you putting on your combat gear.
Mm.
You
Why?
you putting on that combat gear. Cause it ain't for the weak, sis. Marriage is, if you don't remember those vows, you're gonna get lost in that. Okay, through sickness and the health. So what happens now when this man is unable to please me sexually? What happens when this man is sick and he ain't able to go to work and take care of me? What happens then? What
Mm-hmm.
happens when I'm going through what I'm going through and I don't want to be bothered and this man in my face? What happens on those days when you're tired, but your husband needs you to make dinner. Your husband needs you to take care of these kids. Your husband needs you to clean this house. He needs you to fill out his paperwork because he ain't used to doing all that. He wants you to go on the internet and he wants you to find this out. He needs you to
Right.
make these phone calls. What happens on those days? Because the dress is long gone. That's gone now. What happens then? What
Mm-hmm.
happens when you are that man or sick and you have to make medical decisions? What happens? You gonna show up at the hospital in that white dress? Oh, I'm in my white dress, so it don't matter. Yeah, this is all that I need to say. You walking in the hospital because I'm his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wife. Okay, what are we doing? What's this plan of action? What's his care? If
Mm-hmm.
that man gotta come home and be in a wheelchair, wife, are you pushing him around? Are you taking him in and out of bed, wife? So again, is it that we want the wedding or we want the marriage? And it's okay either way, because like you said, every woman's dream is to be in that dress. Every woman's dream is
Yeah.
to
Hmm.
wow over us. But I need these wives to be ready for what comes after that. After that, because that day is one day. That day is one day. This marriage is forever. You can't just get up and be like, "Oh, I'm leaving him." Oh, you are?
Why the hell not?
The
Yes, you can.
divorce is nasty.
Yeah, it
You can
is.
be like, "I'm leaving him and moving on."
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm gonna go. I can leave with everything that I got. I can leave with my divorce is
No, no,
nasty.
no. Divorce is nasty when we got to go back to it. It wasn't put together by God. You understand what
Okay,
I'm saying? That's when divorces is nasty because if it was put together by God, there would be no divorce. You
okay.
understand what I'm saying? So that's why I say, was it put together by God or was it put together by you? Because when you put some things together, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna fall apart.
Hmm.
When God put it together, it ain't going nowhere.
It ain't going nowhere.
You understand? Ups, downs, high, low, whatever. If God put it together, y'all gonna go through it together.
Right.
If you put it together, at the slightest thing, that shit gonna fall apart.
Gonna fall apart. And
You
God ain't
understand?
never put on the same day. That's important. Don't ever
Mm-hmm.
quit on the same day, and you
That's right.
gonna be okay. God ain't gonna let you quit. When God makes me weak, He makes Jason strong.
That's right.
You
That's
gotta
right.
hold this up now. When Jason is weak, he and you gotta hold this together.
Right.
Pull us together because you gotta hold that man up now, and vice versa. That man gotta hold you up, and I'm gonna make sure that y'all ain't both weak on the same day.
All the time because he put it together. He knows who needs what at what time.
At what
You
time?
understand what I'm saying? When he put it together, things fall into place. And see, that's what people get, and forget my divorce or whatever. When it comes to even
I want to talk about your divorce.
okay, when it comes to relationship, you understand what I'm saying? We're quick to soup, and that was me at one time, the outer and not the inner.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm going for the outer, meaning what he got or what you know what I'm saying, and not the inner. Because if you get to know a person, because again, God is love, God is agape, right? If you will
Mhm.
get to know that person, their inner, you will see if they got God in them. You understand? And that's why it always come back to who put things together, you or God. Now, what you wanted to say, Kira?
I have a question for you about what made you decide that you wanted to get married to this particular person? Because I know when you told me, I was surprised. Like, wait, what? Such a weird. Okay. But I'm happy for you. You happy? I'm happy. What thought it was that particular person?
I told you, truthfully, it was really just, I thought, you know what I mean? And that's why, again, I should have known when it was a, I'm about to lie about that. I assumed it was a good man,
Okay.
but I kept getting the signs and I kept overlooking them. Now, don't think for a second I wasn't getting the signs because I was.
Okay.
I just wanted what I wanted. When you come home, you know what I'm saying? I wanted what I wanted. So it's not like these things just start occurring out the blue. No, they just started getting more intense and severe. But
Mm.
I just knew, like, I just want to be married, and we'll work through the kinks because for a fact, Kira, I was the type of person that would just quick and walk away from something. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
that's why I'm
Yeah,
saying like
you acting
surprise.
stupid. All right, bye. So it's like, Nita, you've been this way for so long. It's time for you to change. Like, okay, these things is happening. Work through them. Whereas a long time ago, man, forget you. Like, I don't need to be with you. You know what I mean? So I just trying to change me, and it was okay with changing me. You know what I'm saying? It was okay for me because again, I'm preparing myself to the one that's right for me. But I was changing me for the wrong person. Like I saw all these signs within the relationship, and I was still like, okay, I normally walk away, but all right, guys, you must be all right. I'm gonna stay. You understand what I'm saying? That's what made me go ahead and get married. Not saying it was a good man for me to get married to, and I'm not even gonna say he's not a good man, period, because he just wasn't a good man for me. You understand what I'm
Yes.
saying? I would never bash him. I would hope he wouldn't do the same thing, but not saying he wasn't a good man. He wasn't a good man to me or for me. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? He wasn't my man. He wasn't for, you know what I'm saying? God didn't put it together.
You. God
He
didn't
wasn't
make
for me.
you.
Exactly. He made him for someone else. And just like he made me for someone else. I understand that now. But in the beginning, don't get it twisted. I hated that man. You understand? Like I hated him until I started to understand. How dare you hate someone that he was just being who he was? He just
And,
wasn't, he couldn't be who he was for you. That's it.
and he showed you who he was because you saw those signs.
I saw
So
the signs.
that you hated him or you were more mad at yourself.
There you go. I was. And, Kira, why you say that? I was very, yeah. And for a long time, I was very upset with myself because I'm like, Nita, you know better.
And you
You
were
know
hurt.
better. Like, regardless of if I put on my hijab or take it off, you know, even before me getting in a relationship, Kira, you know, I have a strong relationship with God.
Right.
A person, you know what I'm saying, whatever, I did my things. But when it comes to God and my faith, I have always had a connection with him. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, Nita, you knew better. So what, you know, what's wrong with you?
Right. Right.
I don't know. Yeah,
And being mad at him is because anger is always an easier emotion to deal with than hurt.
didn't hurt. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't, I look weak if I'm hurt,
Mm-hmm.
but if I'm mad, I'm putting on this
I'm
strong
putting on
person.
this strong
I'm,
thing. Yeah.
I'm angry. I'm mad. I'm hurt. I'm dying inside. I'm
And then
dying, but I don't want y'all to see
I
that
don't
I'm.
want y'all to see that. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm gonna put on this persona like I'm angry, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm rah. I'm this lion.
Yeah.
When inside I'm dying.
Tore the hell up. Tore down. You know what I mean? That's why I say, you know, with that, God didn't put it together. You understand? And the signs were stony. And I mean, he kept showing me, kept showing me, kept showing me. I don't know about showing him, but he was showing me. But I was just, this is what I want. I don't care what you're saying right now, God. This is what I want. Oh, he said, okay, this is what you want, huh?
Oh,
I'm gonna make it hurt you, hurt you.
I'm gonna teach you.
I'm gonna
I'm
teach you.
teach you.
Yeah, and I'm gonna see if you still want it. You understand what I'm saying? That's why, and I had to, even with with me doing the divorce papers or whatever else, I still, we still tried to put it together. You understand what I'm saying? But it was still, regardless of what you won't need it, this ain't right. You understand? I would get woken up in the middle of the night, God talking to me. What are you doing? You understand? Can't sleep. What are you doing?
Can't
Giving
sleep.
me flashes of things that occur. Like, what are you doing? You want to go through this again?
He ain't gonna bless no union when you steady sleeping with the devil.
There you go.
Okay? God blessing no union.
Yeah, so you have to separate yourself. And like I said, with me, I understood that I put it together. And with yours, I know that God put it together. You understand what I'm saying? Kara, since I've known you, what, how many years? How old is King?
King gonna be 9 next week.
Right? You understand what I'm saying? 9 years we have known each other, and I have 9 years. I have been through everything with you. You understand? Within those 9 years, right or wrong,
Yeah.
everything. So it's like I have witnessed, and I don't care. People say, "Oh, she did." I have witnessed. I don't know what happened before the 9 years with you and Jason, but these 9 years, you understand the interaction and everything else. I
Mm-hmm.
know it was only God.
Right.
Like, when y'all gonna stop bumping your head and come to your senses? You know what I mean? Like, when y'all gonna stop bumping your head and come to your senses? Okay.
We had to wait until it was the time.
Mm-hmm.
Any time before the time that it happened, sis, wouldn't have been right.
Right.
It
Right.
would it wouldn't have been right.
Mm-hmm.
That first time that we were together, we needed to split. We needed to grow as people.
Right.
The person that Jason was through his 20s wasn't a person that I could have dealt with long term. So
Okay.
to get that out, I needed to get what I needed to get out. And I always use Lyric as an example too. All these boys, all the time I wanted girl, 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 girl.
Mm-hmm.
I done changed baby father. Him gave me a boy. Right? Still give me
Right.
another boy. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I remember I told you in the beginning, they told me King was a girl.
You did tell me that. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
told me
Yes, you
he was a
did.
girl.
Yes, you did.
And then went back, come to find out he was a boy.
Mm-hmm.
That was God again. Now I'm not about to give you that girl. I'm saving that girl. I'm saving her.
I'm saving her.
And then me and Jason get back together, have a baby, and it's a girl. And now we married. Like, okay, God, I hear you.
I hear you.
hear
Like, I
all,
hear you. I got this.
all these three to be girls, they ain't never girls.
Oh, that's Tipsy, and she trying to come on. Say right thick, Kira girl. Let me add Tiff in here real fast. Hey, Tiff. Let me see something. Y'all give me a second. Kira, keep talking, y'all. I know y'all can still see me.
But yeah, like that was his way of saying to me yet again. Like, oh no, you're gonna get these boys because this little girl is who you need to share with your husband.
Right.
Jason got 4 daughters and 1 son. I'm thinking it's gonna be just my luck.
You're gonna get a
I'm
boy.
gonna be the one to get a boy. Like, I'm gonna be the one to get this other boy because that's just gonna be my luck. I said, I got you. I'm gonna go ahead and give you this girl. And before I had Lyric, I was actually pregnant. And it wound up being a non-viable pregnancy is what they call it. Like the embryo never grew. So I was pregnant. My body was going through the pregnant emotions, but there was no baby ever growing. And I say to myself, like, why would God put me through that? Like, why would he put me through that? And my mother-in-law said, because it was probably a boy. And I say,
that is what they're gonna get. Yeah. They ain't getting no boy. I put this together. They're gonna get what they need.
You're right. Okay. Right.
If I sent the thing, okay? I'm
like,
yelling like she can hear me. Huh?
Like, that just made me sit back again. Like, you're right, God. Go ahead, you got it. But what you gonna work this?
And you know what else, Sue? I have to touch on this, right? When it comes to relationships being put together by God and yourself, what we and I know a lot of ladies probably could relate to this when you're in a relationship that God put together, things just flow naturally in your life, not just your relationship.
Everything.
Your home, your finances, everything start flowing together. You know what I mean? Things start being on a court. When it's something that you put together, do you see the disruption that start happening around you? You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm quite sure a lot of ladies can relate. Can you relate to what I'm saying, Kira?
Absolutely.
When it's something that you're trying to put together and God's telling you that ain't supposed to be, everything around you start going, yeah. And you cry, God, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? Baby, look what you're in. Remove yourself. And I'll remove these calamities. You understand what I'm saying? But again, it's back to relationships. When who put it together? You or God. Get your hand off stuff. You feel me? That's what we got to do. We got to take our hand off some things if we want some things from God. Allah, whatever you want to call him. You understand what I'm saying? I always say God because God is universal. You understand? Regardless of what religion you're in. Tip, I sent it to you. Regardless of what religion you're in. Okay. Give me 1 second, Kira girl, okay? You can still talk to me now, though.
But yeah, like listen, you can't pray and worry at the same time, they say. Right? So
that means you have no faith.
You have no faith.
You have no faith.
So if you're gonna go ahead and give it to God, let him have his way with it. Let him have his way with it. Now I'm gonna go back to when I said keep your hand on that spoon, but stop trying to stir. Because if y'all both trying to stir, y'all stirring in different directions. Just keep a steady hand, and he gonna move it the way he wanted to move.
Without you trying to go this way, without him trying to go this way.
Because you moving this way, he moving that way. You're not finding that universal. Hey, Sid, how are you? You're not finding that connection.
Right.
Everything is going. I'm doing this, God. You doing this, but no, I don't want to do that. I want to do this.
Right. Well, welcome, Tiff.
Hey.
We done got into all about. She said, "Go by so fast." I didn't see that one. Yeah, we done got into about the whole relationship spill of it all. We got a couple more minutes, Tiff. What's your relationship? What do you feel as if you put it together or God put it together?
I put it together. And that's probably why it didn't last. Yeah. Sometimes sometimes we as female, we want to get married. We want to be
That's why
married.
I said that's a little fairy tale
And
thing. Mm-hmm.
and that was honestly my case. And I had a goal. I had a age where I wanted to be married by. And I actually reached it, but and I was with him for so many years. I done went through like I've been through everything. There's nothing that I never went through. Like nobody never went through. I've been through everything. And there's nothing I didn't go through. That's what I meant to say. And yeah, yeah. It didn't last. It actually lasts probably close to 3 years.
I was going to say that.
Yeah,
How
like
long
three
did it
years.
last? Now listen, it lasted 3 years, right?
Hmm.
So the rest of it, it was a facade. You was putting on the front. So, like I didn't I say that we put up this front, even though we know stuff is ain't going on good on the inside. We put up a front to the outside.
It's
What
not that I
happened?
put up a front to the outside because I because again we always say this, we can't help who we love. At
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, what you go through in your household is what you go through in your household. It's not putting up a front on the outside because you actually really love that person, you know. And when you around certain people or outside around certain things, your mentality is definitely different. You put whatever those issues to the side. So I wouldn't say putting on the front for people on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
um I wouldn't say that at all.
Well,
Every
maybe I worded it wrong because yeah, you're right. You don't want nobody. That's just like if you mad at your kids, you go outside. Nobody on the outside is gonna know. You understand what I'm saying?
right,
Like
yeah,
that's a model of my home. Whatever
yeah,
going on inside the home, it ain't nobody business
stays
on
in
the
the home.
outside.
Right, right,
Yeah.
absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So
But
3 years in. So why did you stay so long? How long were you married?
well, I got married in 2016, and then like 3 years,
Hmm.
3 years, yeah. And you know what? Maybe if we wouldn't have gotten married, it probably would have lasted. But I don't know.
I have a question for you, sis. That you said that if you guys wouldn't have got married, it lasts. Once you got married, what changed?
You know what? Once I got married, to be honest with you, I didn't know that I love him as I didn't realize I can love him more than I already did when I got
Oh,
married. I think because of the excitement, like, I did it, da 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 da. But sometimes when people get married, it get worse. You know what I mean? It's like whatever you was going through and whatever you was dealing with, it got worse once you got married. And I'm not gonna say what issues and whatever have you, got worse, but it's just that it got worse. And then I said to myself, I should have been left. You know what I mean? But then I was the type of person that I worry about what other people think, and love got in the way. That deep love, and I was basically in habit. Make sense?
a lot of sense.
I was basically in habit. And when you in habit, you fear change.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
that was my issue. That was definitely my
Oh.
issue.
Okay.
But now
Hmm.
it's over.
And another question, too. Did when you said you wanted to be married by a certain age, were you specific in your like? Did you ask God to make that happen?
No.
Hmm.
No.
I had
You just you
nothing
it was
I had nothing to do with it. It was more so me.
Me. Yeah. See, when
okay.
when when you when you don't put the God in the mix, when you don't put God in the mix of it, everything goes wrong.
It was
Because He
more
tell
so
you,
me.
yeah.
And
Now,
that's
will
what we were
I
talking about.
will I want to get
This
married again? Yes, I would. And I think me and Anita had a discussion about this. And I don't know if you remember, Anita. You mentioned that a lot of men out here pretty much wouldn't like. I don't know if I'm saying that, your words exact, but
Mm.
in other words, you were saying like a lot of men out here may not want to date when, divorced women. Remember we had that conversation? Someone who already been married.
Oh, when I said I don't let people know that I was divorced, yeah, um, because it's sort of like, damn, it didn't. Why didn't it last? You understand what I'm saying? It's sort of like a sticker on you. You understand? I
Yeah,
felt as if, yeah, it's sort of like a sticker, like, damn, you was married already. Because I look at men like that. If I come across a man that was married, it was like, well, what happened? You know what I
right,
mean? Like,
right.
so a lot of, I'm not saying they do it or don't, but from my perception, it's like I don't want to tell nobody I was married because I don't want to be labeled as, damn, what happened with that? Why didn't it work? Because that's how I look. When I
Not
come
all
across when I
marriages
come across a
last.
man that was married, it's like, well, what happened with that? Why didn't it work? You understand what I'm saying? So I just leave that alone. Um, I don't even say at one time I used to say, I was married. Now it's like I don't even because me personally, now you had a marriage. I didn't have a marriage. That was a test.
You see?
Like that.
I went through a
I
test.
like that. That wasn't even a test. That was the quiz, right? That was the,
Bro, that was a
the middle. Right?
you know. And again, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not saying he was a bad man, and I will pray he don't say I'm a bad woman. Well, and even if he do, I don't care. He just wasn't a man for me. You understand
Right,
what I'm saying?
right,
Like so,
right.
and it is what it is. Like I told you, Carrie, at one point in time, I was like, I hate that nigga. Now I was like, I understand. God, I
Sometimes you
understand. I understand. He just wasn't for me. You know?
right, but sometimes you grow out of people, and that's a major factor in a marriage. Like, somebody could be complacent, and you may be wanting more, and a lot of things can distance you from your marriage. It can be a lot of things. So
And see, now I still have to say this again. Then that means God ain't touching it. Because if God touch your marriage, that marriage is gonna last. It ain't gonna be no complacency. It ain't gonna be none of that. Is you gonna end up working together if God put that
right,
marriage together? You know what I'm saying? That's just me. I have seen people who've been together for 20 some odd years, and you can tell. You can, like I look at some older people, and I'm like, yo, God is all in the mix of that.
yes,
You
you can
understand? God is
tell
all in the mix of
real
that
love.
marriage. You
There's a
understand? So
yeah, there's a
they
lot
will
of
never be complacent. It can never be no complacency or tired or we're not on the same. If we in this with God, God gonna make everything flow together the way it's supposed to.
Nita. There's a
Because we're gonna
lot of
be
fake.
tired. We're not
Huh?
gonna be tired on the same day.
Yeah, like you said before, it's gonna be this your day and this my day. You understand
Right,
what I'm saying? Like you said
right.
it before, Kara. It's
Hmm.
always gonna be that balance because God got His hand on it. You understand
Right.
what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? All right, baby, you ain't motivated today. I'm motivated. Now I'm gonna
I'm
motivate
moving.
you. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying?
That's that
God gotta have His
support.
hands on it.
That's that support
I
system.
need you to understand that I'm gonna burn myself out being this motivated. So I'm gonna need you to get it
Hmm.
together. I'm gonna need you to catch this
Yeah.
because
Right,
I'm gonna
right,
be exhausted from carrying all of this.
Hmm.
right,
And when I'm exhausted, I'm gonna need you to have that energy for us.
And
right.
if God got His hand on it, what's gonna happen? He gonna have that
You
energy, or
gonna
she's gonna
have it,
have that energy. You understand what I'm
okay?
saying? He's gonna make sure
Okay.
it's right.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
He gonna make
Absolutely.
sure it's right.
And
But
every time you want it your way, he gonna sit you down. Oh, this. Oh yeah, no, we're not doing this. Sit
Oh
down.
yeah, sit down.
yeah,
Sit down.
yeah. But you know what? You know what? Honestly, I would love to have real love. Like
Mm.
it's so much fake love out here. It's ridiculous. And I'm not staying in nothing fake
So
because
let me
I
ask you a question,
Mm.
sis.
what?
Right? And I know you women are a lot older than me. Not a lot. I didn't mean, but you know what I'm saying. You're older
It's all
than me.
right. I embrace my age.
Do you saying that you want real love, right? Even at this point in life, I'm not gonna say at this age, at this point in life, do you know what real love is for you?
Yes,
Do you know what it is for
absolutely
you?
I
You
do.
know what it looks like, you know what form it comes
Absolutely,
in. So
absolutely I do. I, w- I
I'm
I
gonna go
came
back to
in
what me
my
and
I came in my relationship at a very very young age, and I was at 15.
right,
So
right.
You know, you as you get older, you realize what real love is and what type of love you supposed to be. A man is supposed to be providing to you or giving to you.
Right.
You know that.
Now, does that do you see or think that that might come in a form that you're not used to?
No, I. You know what? If it comes in a form that I'm not used to it, that'll make me gravitate towards it more.
Because if you're asking God to fix that, if you're being specific with God, you telling him
Right.
what you want, what you need,
Right.
he
Right.
might not fit in the man that you think he's gonna send it in.
Right.
It might not be the man that you think
It's gonna be in.
is it's gonna be in. He he gonna show
I
you
get
this
what you're
man
saying.
somewhere. This man could be at the supermarket while you done pushed your cart into him. That's supposed to be your husband.
Absolutely. I understand that.
And if you're specific with God, God is gonna make that happen. He's gonna
Right.
bring that connection together. But it's up
Right.
to you to not fight that.
Right. Right. You're absolutely right.
You, you know what? I was thinking about this. Actually, when I was driving home today, in order for us to get the person that's for us, we have to know us. You understand? And
Oh yeah.
that's
That's
how we keep attracting
the wrong one.
the wrong ones. You know, like people pleasing. You understand? You're not doing this, but I don't want to see you upset. People pleasing, not knowing ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? So overlooking all the things that we want, and that's why we end up with the ones that we don't want. Thinking them the ones that we want, but they really not the ones we. You know what I'm saying? We thinking they the right ones, but they not the right ones.
But it's always the ones we don't want. Like,
Hello. Can I get an
it's
amen?
always the ones you don't want, the ones you like.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Listen,
with me, I
when
find
you said
every
getting to
little
know,
thing like, if a nail is dirty, I'm just like, and he could have just had a rough day from work, but if you ran into me and it's like a nail dirty, or you might have, it's like every little thing bothers me, and I gotta get up out of
and
there
I don't think.
because
since
nobody's
you said
perfect. You know what I
about
mean?
knowing
Mhm.
yourself,
Knowing yourself.
What you
about
say?
knowing
I didn't
yourself,
hear you.
right? But I said, Nita said something about knowing yourself, right? But in the same instance, let me bring us as females back for 1 second, right?
Yeah.
Right,
We know what we want in a man. We know how we want him to be.
Right.
right,
We know what we need and want from him. But in knowing ourselves, we also have to check ourselves.
All the time.
right, right, all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. All
Because
the time.
we need, but what are we giving?
Given.
Right,
Exactly.
because
Yeah.
What are we?
that's true.
Because in order to keep a good man, you have to be a good woman.
Right,
But can
And
I
we
say
ain't
something?
ready for that.
But
People ain't ready
Kira,
for that conversation.
I checked my listen.
but
I got to go
listen,
back to me. I'll check. I said I checked myself a whole lot of times. You understand what I'm saying? But because it wasn't me. You know the things I would normally get upset about. Okay, let me not get upset about this. Checking myself, girl. You got to
right,
change. You understand what I'm saying?
right,
You got to change. But I'm checking myself for the wrong reason. Because if you doing right, you will never have to check yourself. Think about it. If you
absolutely.
if you with the one that you're supposed to be with, you will never have to check yourself.
Yep, yep,
You only checking
absolutely.
yourself
I
when you
have
with
to
the wrong person.
I have to disagree, sis, because I
Tell
gotta
me,
check myself
talk to
sometimes.
me. Mm-hmm.
I have to check because I am so used to being how I am.
Yeah.
I had to learn to be a wife.
Okay.
I had to learn to shut up because I'm not that person.
Mm.
So I had to learn to be like, you know what, Shakira, he right. Shut up and sit down. Okay, I hear you. Because I'm aggressive. I'm aggressive and my husband is so laid back.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to learn to let him not be the aggressor, but I had to learn to be the kitten and let him be the lion.
Yeah.
Right, right, right.
So
Okay.
Sometimes
sometimes
our
I gotta
masculine
check
energy.
myself.
Sometimes us as women, we can be
Hmm.
masculine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
masculine. And I
and,
remember
and
I
it's
said that last week. We
and
have a
it's
masculine and feminine side, and we sometimes we allow that masculine side to override.
right,
Like,
right.
girl, pipe down, girl, pipe
And you
And
gotta
down.
it
check it.
comes a lot from independency.
Independence all the
You know,
time.
so you gotta let that go sometimes. You gotta let
Hmm.
it, like, let that guard down. You know what I mean? Like with me being independent, like right now, I'm a very feminine woman, but I can have masculine, you know, ways
Hmm.
just for my independency at this time. You know what I mean? Because right now I can do whatever I want to do for myself. You get what I'm saying? Like everything I'm doing is by myself. So if a man comes, what can he offer me right now that I can't offer myself? So right now I'm thinking in a masculine energy.
I was going to say that.
Yeah,
You're thinking very masculine because
right. I'm
I'm,
thinking
you know that
masculine.
that used to be if you well, Carrie, you know this. I used to always say that. What I want to like what could you do for me? I'm already doing for myself. But
Right.
that was that masculine BS.
That's that
Because
masculine
you
shit.
could take care of yourself, but how about this? If this man is for you, he's gonna take care of you as well.
Right,
Drop it.
right,
You know what I'm saying? So I don't
right.
know. Well, I'm a woman nowadays. I'm so feminine.
But listen, I'm not saying I'm like that now. I was just
Yeah.
saying, like, you
Mm-hmm.
know, how us women can actually,
Can
how we can
act.
be. Yeah. Like,
Carry girl.
it's, independent woman, that song and all that. What's that
Mm-hmm.
song? Beyonce. Everybody think
I
that's a real good
can't.
song, but shit, fuck that. At the end of the day, okay, you independent, but what? You
Mm-hmm.
gonna tell a nigga like, yeah, I'm independent. He gonna be like, oh, okay, what can I do for you if you all independent and what I'm here for?
Okay, okay. She said she can't. All right, but could you hear? You can hear now.
I can hear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, she
I was
can't
going to
hear
say,
me?
I want to thank you though, Kira. I really, really appreciate it. And I appreciate this
Thank you,
conversation as
sis.
well. Because now you got me thinking like, oh, okay, maybe I do want to get married again.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, you know what? I always say, Nita,
Hmm.
first time you entitled to it. I ain't gonna say a mistake, but you entitled to it.
Yeah,
Okay. But that second time, that gotta be the good one. You
it's
know what I
gonna be
mean? Don't
magic.
make it
Yeah.
no third time. Don't make it no fourth time. Don't make it no fifth time. But two
You're gonna
times
be
is a charm.
specific.
Oh,
Two
that's
times is a
thank you,
charm.
Kara. I tell specific. I don't say I want a man or I
You're
want
gonna
a. Well, I don't even
be
say
specific
a
now.
husband now. Yeah, I'm very specific with it now. Like that I'm literally. You should see I write down the type. He's written down. How about that? I'm building me a
Manifest.
man.
And make it
I'm building me
make
a
it a
man.
man.
Yeah.
Make it a mantra. God, I send me a God fearing man. Send me,
Say that
you
again.
know,
Say
That's
that
right.
specific.
again.
A
That's
God,
right. You have to
because
be.
I want in my wish, give me a rich man.
But you, oh my
Again,
God. Can I
you
just say something? Can
Yeah.
I
you could be
just
sending me
say
Susie's rich
something?
husband. I don't want
Can I
Susie rich
just
husband.
can I just say something?
Go ahead.
Yo, when you said God fearing, that plays a major part because some men out here don't even believe in God.
That's
I don't
right.
even believe in a higher power.
That's right.
Some men out here don't even know how to treat their mother. So how the hell how you expect for them to treat
And
you?
listen, the only time they pray is when they're in trouble. You know what
Right.
I mean? Can we pray every day? Not every night, every
Every day.
day. You understand?
Every
Before
day.
we get up out that bed, we talking to God. Before we even talk to each other. You understand what I'm saying? Before we go to bed, we talking to God. Before we say
Right.
goodnight to each other. Because without him,
Right.
we're nothing. That's the kind of man I want.
Because we're loving each other. I'm
That's right,
selfishly
Pep.
loving each other,
That's
but
the
he's
kind of man
holding
we
it together.
want. That's right. That's right.
We loving each other, but he is holding this together.
That's right.
Right, right,
Mm-hmm.
right. That's why when I see
So if you
couples, you know what, I can actually like read if I see a marriage couple, I can actually see whether or not like they're not happy, and then
Off the
you
back.
can actually could tell when, damn, I love, like they in love, like you
Mm-hmm.
can really see that shit though.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Like I said, it's a lot of people out here faking it, and it's a lot of people out here that's truly in love.
And I love the love. The ones that
Yeah.
truly love Kara girl, I love y'all love. And who else is somebody else I just seen up there, but I don't know where it went. They in
What?
a marriage too. And I just love I don't want to put their name out there because they probably like, don't me put myself up there, you know what I mean?
You know what?
I love
I
when
wanted
I
to
look
say
at
a
the,
couple too.
I'm like,
wanted,
yo, I just love their relationship. Now, how it is on the outside,
yes.
I don't know, but I just love. To me, it feels as if they have that perfect chemistry. You
You
understand what I'm
know who?
saying?
You know who? I'm gonna shout them out because I want them to know that I love their love.
Oh,
Derek Perry and Shavita, Mrs. Perry. I
mm-hmm.
just love their love. I don't know if that's who you
Oh,
was talking about, but I just love their love because they
mhm.
love on one another. And if I could see it on the outside, just imagine on the inside.
Yeah.
Kudos to you guys, man. Keep that shit up, Mr. Perry, man.
Yeah, I
I
just
just
love it.
had
I'm,
to
I'm
put it
giving
on.
kudos to you and Jason, Kara girl, because like I said, I know
Thank you.
from the rip. Oh, wait a
Yeah.
minute, my Jess is not up here. I'm gonna speak real fast about my friend because we done went way. Well, we about to have an hour. My best friend Jess, you know Jess, Kara.
Yeah.
Her relationship, you know what I mean. And I was hoping that she was gonna come on, but she got busy. It was put together by God. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know how you can feel again when you got that connection, God, when you're in the presence of God and God people, you feel it. You understand what I'm saying? So even in their
Right.
presence, opposites attract. You understand what I'm saying? I'm in the presence of them, like, yo, this is nothing but God. This is nothing but God. So Jess, you and my brother, yeah, they about to get married too. They ain't even married yet, but they about to get married.
Congratulations.
God put it together. You know what I mean? And
Tell Jess she
it's a
could
lot
borrow
of
my
nothing to do.
combat boots.
Listen, she know I was on the phone with her the other day. She said something to him. I said, "Oh, you said that to him? Why you say that to him?"
Because
That's
it's
what
like that
relationships and
sometimes.
stuff. Yeah, and 2 minutes later, it was a
Right.
kiss. You understand what I'm saying?
So
Right,
But God is in
right.
the
I'm
midst
gonna
of
kiss
it.
the person out. The whole time,
Mm-hmm.
me and Jason don't really have arguments. We have disagreements, but we don't argue. Jason has
Right.
never once, I believe, raised his voice at me.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm on my shit, I'm not yelling, but I'm voicing my opinion. And he said he kissed me. You done? You done? You finished?
Aw,
Finished?
aw.
And I'm like, you know what? Like, how can I stay mad? Like, how can I
Mm-hmm.
stay mad about that?
You do get
That's so
angry a lot, Kara
sweet.
girl. You lucky I ain't up there because I'll be Kara. Come on now, pipe down.
Sis, because
That
you
is
don't
so
know. So,
sweet.
listen.
Back to
There
the
is
part you said you
too
got to check
much
yourself, right?
when I gotta check myself. But there's too much testosterone in my house.
Mm.
Everybody want to be the man in there, and there's only one man in there. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But everybody want to be the man, including
Mm-hmm.
me. But there's only one man in
There's
there.
only one man in there. Mm-mm-mm.
So we all getting used to that. His word is law. We all still getting used to that. You know, it's always been us.
Right, right.
Right.
So now I'm having a hard time knowing his word is law. How I'm
Mm-hmm.
teaching them that his word is law. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
on his side when it comes to them. Because what he's saying in his household is going. But I'm behind him like, yeah, I'm going to talk to him about this shit when we finish. Yeah. Because I'm going to talk to him about this, you
Uh-huh.
know? And I got
Mm-hmm.
to check myself because it's like, damn, okay, Shakira, he's right.
Right.
You telling the kids he's right. But how are you telling them that if you're not believing it? Now you got to get on board too. And
Yeah.
that's why I say you got to check yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Kara,
Yes,
question. How long you been married?
3 years.
And how long you guys been together?
This time,
No, how long?
we've been
Better yet,
together
how long
twice.
you guys knew each other?
22 years.
But then the relationship wise, how many years?
The first time, a year and a half. This time, 5 years.
I'm confused. Just give me the whole no breakup. Just give me the whole total because y'all been together. Then too, but
All right.
just
Me and Jason were together when I was 16.
okay.
We broke up when I was 18, and we remained friends that whole time. 5 years ago, we got back together.
Oh, okay, okay. So you've been married for 3 years.
Yeah,
Okay.
That
I've been
3 years
married for
went by
3
so
years.
quick. It went by
Yeah.
quick.
So fast.
Listen, it did. All right, y'all. But it's about time to go. We thank you all for tuning into Mask Off. What we gonna talk about next week? We just don't know yet. I'm happy
We'll figure
you
it
guys
out.
came in. We'll figure it out.
Thank
I'm happy you guys
you,
came in,
Anthony.
Kira, and I appreciate you.
Thank you, Kira. I'm glad
Yes,
I was
I
able to.
appreciate you. I appreciate you. Just said hopefully next week. She was like, "Could you put me up there and just hide my face?" I said, "No, girl, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. You can catch the next one because there's gonna be a lot more interesting ones. You can come on in." Kira, girl, thank you so much. Tiff
Good
got finished
night.
whatever she had to do. She
Th-
done came through.
Yeah, I had to come through. You know, I wanted to touch this topic, you know. And at least I got to say something a little bit and hear a little bit of something.
All right. Thank
Yeah.
you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. I'm gonna go through. We'll go through the messages later. I won't see what everybody was saying, but thank you all, and we'll see y'all mask
Thank
off
you
next
guys.
week. All right.
Have a good night, all.
Good night.